Hey guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim. Where we last left off, we were on volume 17. The last of two of Teen and Tech Arabic, Civic, and then obviously volume 18 being the last. We already saw the intro in the previous episode. If you so choose to watch the intro, you can watch the previous episode that I've done. Now we're on to the Blue Blood Nihkee Moolah. So it looks like a purple blood against potential rust blood. And there's like a blue carpet too. So, dim lights, the din of a roaring crowd, the smell of horribly priced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even universes, there's still something deeply familiar about a sporting arena. Smash your motherfucking heart, he said. There's also something deeply familiar about sports fans. Ugh. Such a shame having seats next to the purples. It can be so crude and boring. Don't you agree? Oh yeah, because she introduced us to who last time. Start off with Amisia. You nearly this loud. Usually, you find yourself here attending a wrestling show or a display of muscular theater, to use the Cho terminology. Thanks to the benevolence of Amisia Eridan, she won the tickets in a raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. You agree, with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up as a living paint jar, since you are buddies after all. What a sweet friend. You have to admit, though, muscle theater isn't really a thing. It's as over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but it's also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die, as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic hover stretchers with injuries you're not sure they could survive. Oh gosh, you nearly got impaled there. Every match tonight is taking place within a chain-linked cage. Spikes around it on both the outside and the inside, and jout out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. The overall design, in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshot, seems to keep both the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. The current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood calling himself Coldspitz. Interestingly to you, there is nothing clown-like about him at all. It is almost conspicuously how unclown he is, if only due to the absolutely ridiculous amount of clown content you have inhibited in the presence of other purples. Two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves amid blindly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with a barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hit hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive troll is holding back, presumably so as not to avoid inciting the crown. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower blood opponent triumphed over a higher blooded foe. I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting, but I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular therapist performing next. Her name is Moolah, and she hasn't ever lost a fight. I heard she even beat a violet blood once. Moolah, huh? That's a name you could befriend. She must be a big deal, as Amisia makes her out to be. because she uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan. Oh, look, he got her! You flinch. The purple blood finally managed to get his quarry in his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging her fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch, and she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet. The announcer calls the match to uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive bed looks like she'll probably live, but she's got a dent in her face that's probably isn't coming out ever. Ugh. All of a sudden, you think you really need to go get a bathroom. You meant use a snack. You'll be right back. Okay, I'm back soon. This fight is giving me all sorts of new ideas for new painting. Quickly make a break for it, jostling your way through the stands toward the exit of the arena. Before you can make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-finned violet-blooded guy, wearing a full suit with a tacky flame pattern on it. Hey, you, alien. Me? You ask, pointing to yourself nervously. No, the other alien. You swing your head around wildly, looking for the other alien. This bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which is that you are the alien whose attention he wants. You looking to make some extra buck? No, not really. Never spent all that money you won with Asia. Hey, how about fame? Frankly, you're probably already too famous for your own good. Friendship? Oh shit, yeah! Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage whilst explaining that he is a prompter for this wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll-devouring catchy grabber. As such, famed musical therapist Nihkee Moolah has been left with nobody to fight. You'll be that nobody or somebody. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Nihkee is so friendly, he says, in a tone so insincere, even your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay, you've met worse. This is just hilarious. He takes you back. I feel like this dude is a familiar face in relation to Homeshuck, but I could be wrong. An Archer-loving dude. He takes you into the back room, which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked, blue-blooded more often than not. One troll in particular stands out to you, from a severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg. The fact that she is the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. Wait, she has she does have a robotic leg. She's currently doing bicep curls with a set of spiked weights, puffing with exertion. When the prompter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. Wait, I'm busy. He begins to explain that he brought a new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn, she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met. Do you want to know what happened, sister, to people who disturb my preparations? Do you want to experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here? She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The prompter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look, who distinctly suggests that she has never dropped kayfabe in her life and has no intention of starting now. Make it quick. The prompter makes it quick. So let me get this straight. You expect me to perform with this thing. She seems less impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you don't really look like the wrestling type. Don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pull a Rusty from the audience and subjected me to this humiliation. Oh, but you're more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have the heart and soul of a wrestler. You have a long, much longer than about 5 minutes, you thoroughly assure her, waited for an opening such as this, to reveal your true passion to the world, to come alive on stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons you have thirsted for the chance to sing the song of sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would that you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of the athlete, to perform alongside your hero, to show the world that you, too, love to do the muscly thing. That you might just... Okay, I get it. She glances over at the prompter and then back to you. It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being, but it is ready for the butt-clenching, flesh-ablating, knuckle-blistering, muscle-rippling smack down from uptown. Actually, this is starting to sound a little much for you. Excuse me. I'm not sure you can quite match her enthusiasm for the craft. Who do you think you are, sister? You who has the globe to step to me, who comes into my dressing room with those flimsy, stringy, insultingly puny arms of yours. Look at me in the eyes and challenge me to the match. Beg for the chance to spar with me, and then cluck out like the pathetic alien whelp you are. Get out of my sight. Head bowed low, you retreat to the safety, comfort of and friendless expanse that is the audience. You can't even bear to look at Nihkee when she goes out and performs. You are so saddened by the loss of a potential chum. Well, that and it's kind of grisly watching her pull low blood challengers from the audience and smash their faces into the spikes. Yeah! You nod your head confidently, blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh, you say. Let's get this smackdown started. You got guts at least. She turns to the prompter and gives him a curt nod. This match is on. Then she looks at you. Now, sister, we need to discuss the show. I will make all the decisions. You respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus. The alien invader challenges me in an exhibition match to topple the mightyarchy. Then they fight valiantly and to show an entertaining display of strength. But in the end, as it is right and proper, to the nobler hero of the hero spectrum prevails again. Rarg! She starts flexing and showing off for an imaginary audience before turning back to you. Any questions, sister? Yes, actually, we do have a couple questions. First, will you die? No, unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Such is the risk we take to indulge in the most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give up my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that would transcend us and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Well, it's rhetorical. And secondly, when she says exhibition match, it is a muscular theatre term, referring to a match staged for entertainment that does not affect one's ranking on the flex ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Such glorious displays of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for the intergalactical Olympics. No, yeah, you got that. Mostly you're wondering if it meant the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense. Do not degrade the noble sport with claims of savagery. Thirdly, beginning of the sense she's going to be playing the heel, yeah? The what? You explain that in your own cultural equivalents of muscular theater, performers generally fall into the category of face or heel, wherein the face is the rule-abiding and sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality. What part of my personality is unlikable? Do you dare suggest, sister, the audience will be roaring and thunderous applause and admiration as I conquer against another pitiful foe? You tell her, you know what, she can be both the face and the heel. You'll just be subjugated under my heel? Yes, exactly. Hey, Moolah, chatting time's over. You're up. She jerks her head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the prompter directs you to the entrance on the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. Wearing the belt of champions and a leg of her own design, she's ready to get the competition. A paragon of power, a lady of legwork, a true blue ruffianale turn in the making. Clap those hands and activate your screech coverages. It's Nihkee Moolah! Nihkee approaches the cage in thunderous applause, raising her arms and soaking in all the praise. Of course, all the sweat. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly around her steely frame. This appears to be a common ritual for her. She steps through one of the cage doors and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. With her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted, she awaits you as the announcer begins a new intro speech. You step forward. In the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up and low-blood alien. How has this absurd mockery of life not been called yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands of barbed foot of the grand Nihkee. A decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of old boots and rotten fruits. Somebody throws an entire piano at you. Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you. So, you've come here, alien, to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species. You shout, your kind is so superior to trolls. And you, their emissary, does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiasts? She turns to the audience, throwing out a hand gesture to you. They boo. Is this sorry specimen the best the planet can offer? More boos. You counted that you came more than prepared to tackle the matriarchy. Yeah, that. So you claim to be prepared, but are you prepared to face these 24-inch leather noodles? She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explode. So be it, I'll crush you in a single blow. You're expecting a referee to start the match, but then it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which apparently is a signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nihkee grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling it in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer is screaming something about this move being called the Spiky Nihkee. When she finishes her ascension, Nihkee defiantly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down toward you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blinding fast flips before her robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should probably move. You duck and roll forward, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood!" as you feel a light trickle down the back of your neck. Some of the members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood. Between the neon lighting in the distance, they probably just think it's rust-colored and not mutant red, so at least you have that going for you. What you don't have going for you is the time to think about your next move, because Nihkee pivots on her heel and charges at you. This time, she's going for a more theatrical throw. Two powerful hands grab and lift you over her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on one of her horns in your struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her head and push hard. You're delighted to find that her grips loosens and you go tumbling over her back, landing with a clumsy stagger on your feet. You're not sure if she lets you get away with that for the sake of the show, or if it's just slipping out of her sweat-soaked palms. But you're going to charitably assume the former. She then turns to face you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, ringing back at first and then sending it barreling towards your fragile human nose. You leap out of the way, only narrowly dodging it. Fun is avoid me, coward! Where is your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you loath to face my true blue muscle-bound beauty? You take this as your cue to attack, and instead you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you, it's you swear. Fool! There is no running or hiding from Nihkee Moolah. Stand and fight. She sprints towards you as you flee. The crown is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, at least all of you, but you think you can pull something cool out of this. You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging the spikes that line it, and use a slight amount of give in the chain link wires to springboard you off. With an exuberant grin, you go flying toward her, an arm held out in a classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her own arm, and whoop! I guess I went unconscious. When you wake up, you are lying on what appears to be an exercise mat. You can feel a telltale throbbing sensation in your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, doesn't feel particularly hurt. Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nihkee training on one of those leg press machines you always saw in gyms but never had the courage to attempt to use. She is wearing an exercise outfit which, despite its vastly different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It all has all the functions a fitness avocado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artists don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. As soon as she notices you, you're awake. She turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout. You're finally awake, sister! Welcome to my hive. I spent so much precious, valuable time waiting for you to open your eyes. Oh god, how long have you been out? About 40 minutes. Phew, that's not so bad, is it? Perhaps, but only when you compare it to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out by cold by your own attack. Wretched! I am an impossible foe to conquer, and yet even a Rusty has told me longer in the realm of mortal combats. You are weak, sister, offensively so. She slams a foot forward with such ferocity, the weight of the leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting, she stands, takes a long swing from a bottle, and then approaches you. You with fire in her eyes. What do you have to say for yourself? You scuttle backwards, proffering only a sheepish smile. You're, sorry, I guess? I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You are not a worthless being. You have a flair for the theatrics, an appreciation of the sport, and a shining soul full of only the most intactable determination. You can be so much more than you are, sister. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold the Bronzeum. You obediently cast and gaze around. This equipment is massive and littered with training equipment. As far as the eye can see, much of it resembles exercise machines like the ones you had in gyms back on Earth, but there are plenty more that look far more alien and deadly. The treadmill, which appears to throw the runner into the vat of acid if they fall off, a series of swinging axes that could look at home in a dungeon, 3 different varieties of Iron Maiden, and 3 even more horrific than the last. This is presumably Nihkee's personal workout studio, but you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. Wonder if Atreya has ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her. These are some who may be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge them, just as I forge myself into beings of adamant strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong, and your will of iron, yours will be an unquestionable might. She extends a hand to you, her jaw set. Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend to triumphant heights of muscular perfection. There is a look in her eyes that you have never seen before, one of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? You take the hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. To see the deep sapphire blue filled with the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly you feel your fingers fracturing. Flint, I knew you had the spark. Now to make a flame, to grind and crush and pummel the flint until it bursts into the roaring blades of strength. Today I shall begin testing your limits. Come. She leads you to the treadmill and the deep bubbling pit of acid directly behind it you nervously step on. You are going to measure speed and stamina. Run until you can run no longer. She starts up this machine. She gives you a nice breezy jogging pace at first, but the treads quickly begin to whirl up away at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill. Come on, sister, grit your teeth. Put some thrusts into it. If you're not navigating your acid track by the time you're done, you aren't trying hard enough. Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit, running like you're being chased by an angry droid. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving even faster and you can almost feel yourself slipping. Got to. You lose your grip and go flying backwards, narrowly grasping onto the ledge of the pit and dangling into it, your toes singed by the acid. Ouch! You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll onto the side, hissing. Nihkee stands over you, plucking her tongue. Top speed at 12 miles per hour. That's good, right? For a blonde's blood. Next test. She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as terrible as Rusty's, your lungs are gold at best, your legs are an unexpected cerulean, all the while taunting you, encouraging to push yourself further. The decapitated corpse of my ancestor could do better than this. You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skulls. Are you going to inject dismay fluid all night long, or are you going to woman up? You go toe-to-toe with a punching bag that shoots sonic blasts at you whenever you hit it. Shape up or get ejected on the nearest solar execution board. You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise. Your jazz hands are terrible. By the time the hour is up, you are panting and huffing and desperate for a break. Nihkee finally relents. Your reward for staying alive thus far? Staying hydrated, sister. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that gym buffs are always chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiously for a moment, before throwing caution to the wind and gulping some down. When has imbibing alien substance ever hurt you before? But when the flavor hits your taste buds, you must wrench. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk? Nutritious and delicious. Keep chugging it. You need liquids, foul though they may be. Great, lactose breakover. Let's continue. She next leads you to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually have spikes. It has blunt, lumpy surfaces on the inside. Kitten. What? Kitten, sister. You reluctantly step inside the Iron Maiden and the doors clamp shut around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you from all sides, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the walls, desperately trying to keep them from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the maiden opens. Pressure resistance, about olive level. These results are surprisingly adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work! This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude as you continue to, just barely, persevere through everything she throws at you. Like a shake weight so powerful it leaves you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises. Keep steady, sister! Don't lose heart on me now! A rowing machine that douses you with boiling water if you can't keep up the pace. Go, go! We'll make a future medalist of you yet! Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster. Don't you dare allow this thing of the satisfaction of feasting on your bones. After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken, your heartbeat is coming in quick and irregular pulses, and you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet. You glance weakly at Nihkee, expecting her to be looking down at you the same, but instead you see her crouching down and offering her hand with a smile. You take her hand and she pulls you up to your feet. She looks so happy! Look at that smile! Look on your face that resembles pride, only when she claps a palm down on your shoulder. And it kinda hurts. You've done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, and you soldiered on with head held high, even as your body broke beneath the weight. I have never seen such commitment, such strength of heart and soul, such dedication to the craft, such appreciation for the most righteous of pursuits. You are no mere workout partner, you are a workout friend. A light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse, this feeling of power, of strength, of the bond between warriors. This is real and true, and this light will never ever leave you. As you bask here in the satisfaction of sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize that the planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmos come and go, but being swole as fuck is forever. Victory! And one last bad end. Hesitate. You begin to offer your hand, but under her steely gaze, your resolve wavers. This all seems like a lot, too much even. You don't even know if you're made of stuff tough enough for the training she seems to be offering. You would like to prove yourself to become strong, you really would, but does she perhaps just maybe have any courses a little easier on a soft, squishy creature like yourself? The expression on her face grows terrifyingly blank. She's not scowling or snarling or sickened or any other S word. She's just looking at you with the vaguest hint of disappointment dripping from her otherwise neutral expression. I see. You're like all the rest, aren't you? Unworthy to receive my gifts. Unwilling to reach your full potential. A pathetic, simpering thing playing at dreams of muscular greatness it can never achieve because it doesn't have the will for it. You're an insult to the knowledge. Spit on my passion. Get the fuck out of my face and do not ever dare to return. Shrinking under her steely gaze, you quickly flee her hide. Is this it for you? Is the screen going to fade black, replaced by a goofy cartoonish end card and some somber game over music composed by artistic genius Jan Roach? No, you refuse. You're not yet ready to call this friendship kaput. You will show her and her draconic methods up. Damn it, it's time to get flipped. You're going to do it your own way, and then return, and she will be so utterly impressed by your muscular growth that she will have no choice but to admit that you are friend material. Sadly, you do not know any other blue blood characterized by an absurd love of muscles and bodybuilding. They're basically all turtle nerds, actually. But you perhaps think of someone from a nearby who can help you. Her door swings open with gusto, and you are greeted by a familiar, smiling face. So it makes an appearance. Surprise! You really should have called, or texted, or did literally anything else to alert me to the fact that you wanted to visit me on such short notice when my schedule is so terribly packed. But that's alright, I can squeeze a meeting, I'm sure. Do come in. Hey! You step in past the threshold of the door and into her office/living room. Tyzias sprawled out across the couch, leisurely holding a book in her face. Looks like she's studying, which is a relief to you because you would have felt terrible if you had interrupted some intimate time between them. Unless studying is intimate for them, you kind of hope studying isn't intimate for anyone. The prospect terrifies. Would you like to join me and Zizi for some below? It's no imposition, I promise. You absolutely would. You didn't know Stella was a cook on top of everything else she does. Oh, no, I could never. There simply isn't enough time. I'm just ordering from Door Smash. It's excellent stuff, really. It is. Zizi has some very colorful words for the taste. It's pretty bitchy. Yes, it is certainly that. Pencil a good friend here for a dinner date, can you, darling? They're literally right here already. We don't need to do that. Stelsa pauses and blinks as if processing the foreign concept. Right. Sometimes Stella forgets that you don't have to put everything on a schedule, which is fair. School feeding changes a troll. Stella pulls up a chair and gestures for you to sit down in front of her desk. Now that said, while we wait for the meal to arrive, let's get down to brass tacks. What brings you to my lovely abode tonight? Maybe they just wanted to see you. People don't always need a reason beyond that. We actually do have a reason, though. Shit. Or explain to Stelsa that you have a friend, more accurately, a friend-to-be, perhaps an acquaintance, or perhaps a person of chum acquaintance quality, who you would like to impress through the pursuit of personal fitness. You recall that Stelsa was jogging when you met her, so maybe she could help put together a fitness routine and you could do some workouts together. Preston lines up and she clasps her hand together. Oh goodness, I would absolutely love that. My poor Zizi is usually far too tired and far too busy. Sometimes I don't know how to manage it myself. So I'd absolutely love a partner to train Sarah's running on time. To train Sarah running on time. Assuming, of course, you won't be late yourself and can keep up with my pace. Or if I'm warning, it's blistering. Isn't it though? Thanks, sweethearts. You confidently assured that, if nothing else, you can keep pace with her. Your legs have been of use, walking, running, fleeing, prostrating yourself before clowns. You know, the usual. Excellent. Well, we'll set up some meetings and I'll add you to my schedule. My people will call your people, etc., etc. Thanks for visiting. It's been ever so lovely to see you, too. She's halfway through shoving you out the door when you remind her that she invited you in for Grublo. She hastily and apologetically pulls you back inside. Tizrak snickering in the background. Don't know what I'll do if I didn't have skills. Someone has to be the energetic one in this quadrant. The contract is certainly a stark one. Has Tizrak considered quaffing energy drinks here or there? Perhaps they could help her prep up. 1, I'll probably literally die. 2, you don't want to see me on energy drinks. Nobody does. Fair. You spend a little while longer chatting with Tizrak before the delivery arrives, and the three of you have dinner together. The Grove Loaf is exactly as bitchin' as advertised. A wonderful meal with wonderful friends. The perfect precursor to the fitness montage yet to come. You visit Stella multiple days a week, fitting yourself into her incredibly convoluted and packed schedule. The feat doesn't actually prove very hard. You basically only exist to spend time with friends. Her equipment is delightfully free of torture devices. Besides her set machine, she also owns quite a bit of smaller exercise paraphernalia, aerobatic doodads and thingamajigs, yoga mats, jogging outfits, even one of those huge bouncy exercise balls, which she bans you from using after you accidentally sent it careening into a carefully organized stack of books. Stelsa carries her forward with a preppy, always-on sense of gusto that can be difficult to keep up with, but her bright smile and encouraging attitude do wonders to keep you invested, to convince you that you really can acquire the swole booty you dreamed of. By the end of the pedigree, you are, well, you wouldn't exactly call yourself ripped, but your muscles are definitely toned in the way they previously were not. You feel hale and healthy, more energetic than ever, with a bit of extra prep in your step. Apparently, regular exercise makes you feel good. Wild! As you look at yourself in the reflection of acid puzzle, you flex and watch your muscles bulge. Fuck yeah, it's time. At least you hope it's time. You climb into your squircle buddy and prepare to set the autopilot to the keys, but something's still in your hand. Some strange sensation that has been slowly, surely settling in your stomach. A sense of unease, of dread. Your days of foolish ignorance are long past, and in their place of begrudging understanding of the universe in which you exist, and the harsh laws by which it rules its inhabitants. You have, beginning to fear, made the wrong choice, with all the consequences such lapse in judgment entails. Will you ever truly befriend Nihkee, or are you just cursed to live forever, for who knows how long, in a world without her sweet smile to cure your insatiable addiction? Mayhaps you need not wonder. Mayhaps this time has come to look inside yourself, and you're going to give your chakras one real motherfucking of blitzering. It's going to take a mood music of the highest caliber. Having picked up something meditative tips from Boulder, you navigate your Scrutterbuddy radio to dial an achromatic buzz station, which is currently playing some soothing ocean sounds. Sure, I guess. The gentle lap of water, and it's slowly getting darker. The gentle lap of water meeting the shore, the rhythmic beat of the tide, as steady and as sweet as a mother's heartbeat. It's sped with distant honks and weird animal chittering. Of course, because this is still fucking Ontario. You lean back into your seat, reclining it as far as it can go, and sink into the cushiony softness. Something sharp is poking at your rib, but you try to ignore it. You close your eyes and allow the white noise to flood your senses, blocking everything else out. Oh yeah, you're really vibing with this shit right now. Truckish status, blitzed to high hell. Huh, this is nice. Imagine casualty as a river. Every choice a branch, tributaries upon tributaries, winding ever downward, pooling in lakes of inevitability. The pit in your stomach gnaws. It all ends here, stagnant, bitter water, reeking of death, the ocean ever out of reach, your soul ever yearning for the single, solitary estuary among all the ceaseless spillways. Take a deep breath, while the lips lapse at your sides and tickle to your ears. You are adrift. You feel the gentle bob as you float down the river. Hear the rush like a ticking clock. Gravity as time pulling you ever forward. Which river is this? To what end does it deliver you? Your breathing slows, then shadows. Feel the rapid approach. The river blurs and shifts your heart grinds. Misses a heart, misses a beat, a surge of emotion. Water streaking down the curve of your cheek. Your lungs ache. Which lungs? Which river? Which you? You try to focus, but the water beats at your brows. Lashes, your arms and legs too tired to swim. You try for another deep breath, and nothing comes. With a tumultuous grasp, you sink below the surface, through the churning darkness below. Here, amidst the battering onslaught, the images come, whirls of emotion, of sound, of thought, memories best forgotten, of never known, lakes meant to remain uncharted. The dark spits open on a fault line of lightning. Water's hand goes limping around. You're shaking. Crack of thunder, rain and tearfall. A single drop of olive. Record skips. Yet, what's that you see above you now? A dark space has opened up you, even darker than the night sky, and two stiff-looking winged figures are descending. Pace through rage, the whirl of the carousel, horses whinny as the caliber seems. Your circle takes you. And going through memories, searching eyes implore you. The puppet strings stretch towards the moon. The flash of a blade, the spray of blood. Your strings are cut. The crackle of energy, the world gone grayscale. Eyes deeper than the deepest pit. A shuddering, final breath. You are lost, lungs burning, water clogs every inch. You for your brow, think, find your river. They're gonna kill every. That's multiple memories all at once. Zebra, Amisia, and our good old Damien. Coughing, wheezing, or fighting rattling glass. Panic seizes you. A resounding crack. The stamp of hooves, ricochet of gunfire, death of one, of thousands. A low, sinister honk, footfalls, loud and deep, swing of a club, blood on pavement. Dark, acidic smoke, instincts, voices, and crackling calm. They lurch beneath you, heat thrown, neon energy crackling green. Choking, desperate, lungs aflame, you focus your will. Where are you? Which are you? Find your river. Piercing eyes, a stern, uncompromising gaze. Singe of acid, crushing spikes, the body worn to nothing, all for her approval. Puff of exertion, gray muscles flex and spray or slam, a cup of water, the shine of a smile. A looping tape, mirrors and mirrors, minds, like time, infinite. The tributary splits and you finally drift down your chosen route. Freshwater visions as you float toward the surface. Carefree decision, scuttling legs and the thrum of an engine, cityscapes passing by. Stern anger, a fist tightly crunched, shaking, barely restrained, hope crushed under rigid foot. A plan poorly conceives. Desperation, madness, friendship at all costs. Navy blood pooling on the concrete. Control and the hark, my other leg. Control and plan, both collapsing, cold hatred in her eyes. Start the alibi and put me back into the seats. That takes hold and goes. How dare you insult me by showing your face again? Times like these, you envy the purple bloods. Well, you envy them quite often, actually. They got amazing strength, unbelievable beautiful rap gods, and honestly, figure staring to grow on you. Right now, you just wish you were a contortionist. These vents are way too tight. See? Look at how strong you are. You can lift these weights with ease. You lift something bigger. Would be happy to demonstrate if you would stop advancing in you with the full intent of an else in your sorry house. Hark, my other leg. So she's actually an indigo blood. So, or maybe either cerulean or indigo. It's hard to tell. You're just thankful you managed to snatch your water bottle out of the Skugga Buddy before she tore it. The importance of hydration is never more evident than you spend hours in fleeting terror. How is she even doing this with her only working leg? Tense footfalls on the pavement, muscles strained to exhaustion, the sun rising over a desperate chase. Swallowing with fear, you leap across the tracks moments before your train comes screeching past you. Just before you hear a grunt, and then a scream, louder and more agonizing than ever you've heard before. Is this it? After days, a dissociate event? Escape, sweet bliss, soon to shatter, blood and bone. Can't disable her cybernetics. They're too entwined with her biology. Get back, she's about to strike, damn it. Fruitless assistance, your clothing, your soul, stained with blood. No more, no more. Your palm has died ages ago, but you've been etching lines into the back to keep track of time. You're nearing the 1-year anniversary of, well, you're not sure to call it, the day you were inadvertently ruined your life, the day you fled into your untamed wilds. You would celebrate, but you doubt you would have the time. She can't be wrong. One more step, one more desperate step, one foot after the other in the endless chase. You try your best to strike a ragged feel for breathing, but you know it's fruitless. Nothing can hide the terrifying pounding of your heart to her bionic ears, nor the heat of your blood to her infrared senses. She can find you here. Drenched in fear, in sweat, hidden but not well enough. Ba-dump, ba-dump. Nihkee's searing blue eye flashes in the darkness. There's no more hiding. You close your eyes. The curtains fall, one final heartbeat at the end of all things. Emerge from beneath the surface with your puffing up water, and just you sitting in your Skugga Buddy. gentle white noise still playing on the radio. You take a moment to catch your breath, your heart thumping against your rib. Beat you senseless for subjugating to all that horse shit. Okay, enough meditation for one day. You think you're going to reach over and kinda set the autopilot to Stella's house and said, yeah. You have no idea if this will avert or merely delay some horrifying and grisly end or another, but it's better than the alternative. Besides, you really want some more of that bitching grub loaf. With that, we're going to end this episode here. I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your life. May the stars forever guide your path, wherever it might lead you into the future. Bye-bye.